Oh. 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 Sairam, everyone. Just to recollect what we discussed last week, I think Swami is going on explaining about the Atman, who is beyond vasanas, beyond all the indriyas, the mind, and so on. And it's also without life or without breath, Swami says. And because of that, it is so pure. And that's the object of meditation. I think that was what was being discussed at the end of the conclusion of the discussion last week. And so we will begin from there and continue. So Sairam, Sister Kalyani, please.
Anyone aiming at the realization of God should practice the diminishing of impulses, the curbing of the mind, and the understanding of the fundamental principle. One of these is not enough for liberation, moksha. In the liberated soul, Jivan Mukta, impulses persist, but only as fried seeds. They will not cause further birth. The Atma is free of everything. See, the causal body is a seat of ignorance, ajnani. It is saturated with impulses and traditions and experiences. The Atma is free from all these. It is ever pure. It belongs to neither sex and has no mind, no senses, no form. Not only that, it has no breath, prana even. It cannot be said to be alive or dead. How can contemplation on such an Atma be anything other than pure? How can light and darkness coexist? How can purity and impurity coexist? Of all the workshops in the world, the workshop of the body is the most wonderful because it is the tabernacle of the Lord. In such a factory, the impulses are sublimated into vows. The impurities are weeded out, beneficent desires are shaped, and good imaginings are brought about. The main aim is the uprooting of impulse, though this is a difficult task.
So this was what we were discussing last week before we left. As you can see, Swami is talking about the removal of impulses, and Swami is setting the Atman as the example of that which we should all strive to become or strive to identify. And so Swami has described that Atman which is beyond everything, so that our meditation is focused on that Lord. Is what I understand. But if anyone has something to share, please share, Saira.
Saira, what does it mean in that sentence where it says, in such a factory, the impulses are sublimated into vows?
Impurities, oh, I see. I think Auntie is the best person to...
Arun?
Yes, Auntie.
Which page is it? In Telugu?
In Telugu, it's chapter 9, Auntie.
Chapter 9. Okay. Yeah, in Telugu page number, can you say? 90.
1 second, I will tell you.
Oh, yeah. Chapter 9. Okay. Sorry for troubling you.
No problem, Auntie.
9. Please go ahead. I will try to join you.
Yeah, because she has Kalyani had a question about what is that vows. I think vratam is the
Vratam is vow
God,
is vratam.
I'm sorry, what's Vrata?
Vrata means any, actually, upavasam or something like that, if you want to put it that way.
What's Upavasa? I'm sorry.
Fasting.
Oh, fasting. Okay.
It's not fasting, it's any a religious practice. For example, on a special occasion, you take a vow that, I will do this. I will not eat, I will not sleep. Shvaratri is a vratam, you don't sleep. So that sort of a determination, a decision to observe a certain discipline, that's called vrata. Okay. So what Swami is saying is we need to, for example, if sleepiness is your vasana, so you take a vow, take a resolution. I think resolution is a better word. You resolve to do something. So what Swami says is whenever impulses are there, we should resolve to sacrifice that vasana itself at the feet of the Lord. Like, if you're eating something, then you take a vow that you will not eat it. So through that process, we sublimate, we offer it to the Lord or something like that. Through that process, you can remove the impurities. So that is what's a vow. So every, Deepavali is a vratam, Kanta Shashti, the people will, for 6 days, they will fast. And, they have a very disciplined lifestyle. If you take the Christians, before the Lent is a time of fast. Okay,
Ramadan also.
Ramadan is a fast. So every religious tradition has a certain resolute practice of a spiritual discipline. And that is the way you sublimate all these impulses and you make them beneficial. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, that makes more sense. Yeah.
Last time, I think we talked about Karana Sharira, which is the
Yes, Auntie.
seat of Ajnana.
Yes.
It is saturated with impulses and traditions and experiences. So actually, Karana Sharira is the cause for the other two, Sukshma Sharira and Sthula Sharira. It is the cause. It is the seed for all the coming births.
So, Auntie, were you able to find the spot, Auntie?
Not yet.
Okay.
The Papa Priti, Daiva Priti Galavare Satsangamu, that's I'm there. So please let me know the page number, Arun.
Okay,
Telugu.
I will tell you, Auntie. Kalyani, you can maybe read on if others don't have anything to say.
Yeah.
And then when Auntie gets to the point, we can.
No, please don't wait for me. If anybody wants to say some comment, they can really come out.
Okay, so I'll read the next slide.
What is it?
So I'll go on to read the next slide.
Yeah.
Is that right?
No, I think there are some questions. I think maybe some people might have some questions. Swami says of all the workshops in the world, the workshop of the body is the most wonderful.
Brother Sairam,
Yes.
what does the last sentence mean by that? Like the main aim of uprooting impulses through this is a difficult task. So now we are trying to uproot the impulses,
Yes.
but at the end it's saying it's a difficult task. That is,
It is difficult.
because in the first paragraph it says there are three things. Even if you follow one thing, you won't able to realize the God, right? So that is the three things they have mentioned clearly. One is the diminished impulses, curbing the mind, and understanding the fundamental principle.
Yes, correct. Those are three things.
That also I need some clarification. Understanding of the fundamental principle, what is they are referring on this part? And one of this is not even one of these is not there, you cannot have a liberation. So in this fundamental principle, what they are referring, and why at the end they are saying it's a impulses obviously is a difficult to remove.
Here, what understanding of the fundamental principle is to realize Atman, that you are that self. That's the fundamental principle in each one of us.
Yes, that's good. Okay, so one is a realizing your Atman.
Your Atman.
Diminishing it's
impulses.
Not supposed to be diminishing, right? You have to be uproot everything, right?
First of all, let us try to reduce the impulses.
Auntie, page 194. Page 194, Auntie.
Thank you. Thank you. That's it.
Yeah, we can sign on.
Okay, go ahead.
Brother Rajagopal, did you say anything?
Yeah, that I can say that that we can we already go through that. We can
move to the other slide. Okay.
We can destroy that bad impulses with the help of the good impulses. Then after that, we can throw it both away.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, both away. That,
yeah.
Also, that so Swami says that there is a very, very miracle. The high miracle is his creation is human body. Swami said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they can move it.
So, Sister Aruna's question is when it's difficult, how can we do it?
Brother, that also it's mentioned as an answer. The impulses, you cannot uproot everything, but it will go, the good impulses will be there as a fried seed. So it doesn't multiply.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's mean there is no birth, further birth. So impulses will be there. Though it's not, I think at the end, you cannot uproot everything. That's what I am understanding from you. You cannot entirely uproot.
Auntie, did you find it, Auntie? 194?
In Telugu book, it's not 194, Arun.
194. 194. It's end of 11th chapter, Auntie.
End of 11th chapter. Sir, na adu pathikren. End of 11th chapter. Yeah.
Go to end of 11th chapter. There is a title of a paragraph called Balavattaramaina Vasanalanu.
That's it. That's where we stop, I think. Yeah.
Balavattaramaina Vasanamula Vadalute Dhyanamu Yokka Gamyamu.
Yeah, that is the correct. Balavattaramaina Vasanalu.
Yes, Auntie.
Strong impulses. Vasanas.
Did you find the place, Auntie?
Yeah, I'm finding. Yeah, correct. Lokamulanda anni karmagaramulana.
That's what we are.
Karmagaram. That's where, yeah.
Okay.
Karmagaram, workshop. Karmagaram means workshop.
Yes. So they're asking, what is Swami saying? Adi Bhagavantuni Sambandhamainadi Kanuka.
Adi Bhagavantuni Sambandhamainadi Kanuka. Adi Anta Adbhutamainadi. Intati Vichitra Karmagaramanandu Vasanalo Korikuluga Mari Malina Vasanalo Nashimpa Chayabadi Manchi Vasanalo Tayaraite Uhalu Bailaderunu. what Swami is trying to tell is, in this workshop, first the vasanas, the impressions become desires. Korikuluga mari. So Malina Vasana Nashimpa Chayapadi, all the Ashubha Vasanas will be completely negated. Shubha Vasanas are there. Then Uhalu Bayalu there. No. Uhalu means imagination, you know.
Yes.
Krama Kramena Amitamaina Velakalagu Brahmagnanam Vennavanti Vastu Tayarugunu. Like butter, the Brahmagnana will arise. So what basically Swami is saying, the Malina Vasana, you have to try to curb them, and then good Vasanas will come, and then slowly Brahmagnana also will, it will be ready, but we have to kind of Vasana Madata Nirmulam Cheyan. Before that, we have to completely negate the Ashubha Vasanas.
So so Swami says the impulses should be sublimated into desires? Is that the word?
Into good desires.
Transmuted into good desires.
Good desire.
I think.
Yeah, it's little confusing it is.
Yeah, the translation is not completely identical.
Yeah, but a little difference is there. Let me read it once again for you.
Auntie, every sentence, every word, why don't you translate, Auntie, if it's okay?
You have to help me here and there.
Okay, Lokamananundu.
Lokamalonundu in the world. Anni karmagaramulakanna of all the workshops, Shariramane karmagaramu chala adbhutamainadi. In this, the body is a very wonderful workshop.
Among all the workshops in the world.
Adi Bhagavantuni sambandhamainadi kanuka. It is connected with the God, with the Almighty. Adi anta adbhutamainadi. It's still more wonderful. Intati vichitra karmagaramanandu vasanalu. In this
such a wonderful workshop.
Vasanalu korikuluga mari.
The vasanas, impulses become desires.
Yes. Malina Vasalo Nashimpa Chayabadi, all the Malina Vasanas.
Bad impurities are destroyed.
Banchi Vasanalu Tayarayi.
Good vasanas are made to manifest.
Uhalu Bayala there, no. Then your imagination starts working. Uhalu here, I mean, it's only
good imaginings are brought about. That's what the translation is. Means, you visualize good things. Let's call it the word visualize.
Visualization. Uhalu is visualization.
Let's use.
Kramakramena, gradually, Amitamaina Velagala Brahmagnanamo. The invaluable Brahmagnana will Lannavanti Vastu Tayaragunu. Butter, just like butter, it will be ready. But Kana Vasanalu Madata Nirmulamu Chevalno. You have to completely uproot all the vasanas.
So Swami is sort of equating this to the curdling of the yogurt.
Yogurt, yeah.
You take yogurt, curds, then you curdle it. And through that process, the butter comes up. But Swami says for that to come up, you have to first remove the impurities.
That's what. But of course, which is very difficult. Chala kashtamu.
So this is the Samudra Mantana.
Samudra Mantana, yes.
This is the churning of the ocean, So our vasanas are all there. It has to be churned. So we have to, through this churning process, bad is removed first. That's alahala.
Amritam comes.
Visham has to first get out. The hala visha has to come out.
Yeah.
Once it is removed, and then we continue to churn, the Amrita will come. So it's a very lengthy, arduous, tedious task. That's what.
Just like how Asuras and Devatas churned the ocean of milk ocean. Just like that, it is quite difficult. It took a long time. Sulabhamuga parvatumula nainanu periki vevachunu. You can easily remove mountains. But vasanalnu parikiveyuta anta sulabhamu kadu. Swami himself says it's not easy to uproot. Aina balahinulu kaga. Don't get weakened by all these things. Ichha shakti, tivratanu, nischayatvamu, sthirata. Kaligi undina koddi kalamlone vaatini nasimpacheyan. But he gives a hope. We should not be weak. We have to have ichha shakti and we have to have tivrata. The what is it called? Tivrata means the
determination and
intensity, nischayatvamu, decisiveness, and firmness, tirata.
So I think Kalyani, it is the next slide, I think. Okay.
Okay. Mountains can be swept away. That's
okay,
what I think.
Let Kalyani read, Auntie, then you can continue.
Yeah.
Mountains can be swept away sooner than these deep-rooted impulses, vasanas. But with willpower and zest, supported by faith, they can be overcome in a short time. Just do not give up your determination and faith, whatever the loss, hardship, or obstacle. Remember, the impulses overpower you and keep you down as their slave. Opium and brandy enslave you and hold you in their full grip only for some time, but impulses grip you for a whole lifetime. The entire meaning and purpose of meditation is to attain freedom from these mighty and manifold impulses.
So Swami is sort of explaining how difficult it is.
Yeah.
What the difficulty is, what we are battling against.
Even opium and brandy can be, some people can give it up, but not this entire impulse. Sorry.
So I think I will just open it up for discussion. Others can share, what you all think and how we can go about this moving the mountains challenge.
Brother. So my understanding is if you want to see God or Atma, if you take milk, in the milk, the butter is there. But in order to see the butter, you have to do the sadhana, and you have to have sraddha, and you have to have determination, you have to have faith. So you put all the sadhana, then all the process, then you'll get the butter. So same thing, even if you have that, what you call brandy or those kind of things, intoxicate, it will hold on to only for a few hours. But the mind, whatever you have in your vasanas is powerful than that one, because it will hold on to your lifetime. So this is very difficult, and you have to have faith and sadhana. Only we can remove that one. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you very much, brother. Anyone else would like to share your thoughts, please?
Sairam, I think that Swami encourages us to do that by the time, also because he doesn't want us to give up because it's a difficult task. So that's what he's, one way is encouraging, but he also saying that how hard it is and how difficult it is, because he doesn't want anybody to give up the process. Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you.
Sairam.
Yes, Auntie.
So if we have implicit faith, Swami says we can gradually get over these things.
Yes, Auntie.
We have to have
determination and faith.
Determination and faith.
Sairam, this is Akwanti.
Yes, Auntie.
To remove the impure impulses, you have to build up pure impulses, right?
Yes, Auntie.
So for that, you have to have control of your mind, seeding on desire, all those you have to practice.
Yeah.
Other than the faith and what do you call Shraddha and Saburi.
Yes.
Yeah, can say that.
So in
I
order
think-
to, I'm sorry.
Yes, brother.
So in order to remove the impulses, mainly that other five senses has to be stopped. So mind always goes with the five senses. You have to control the mind. If you control the mind, then the five senses doesn't work. So if you do this good sadhana and everything, put the mind move inwardly, then you can achieve the task. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam, brother. Thank you.
Sairam, brother. The last sentence, Swami says, the impulses grip you for whole lifetime. That means you cannot remove the entire thing. So the entire meaning and purpose, again, so it's meditation when to attain the freedom from this mighty and manifold impulse. That sentence I didn't understand. But it says whole lifetime it's going to grip. And the last sentence also is not clear. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam, sister. I will open it up for anyone else to comment on that. Sister saying, Swami says on one line, it will last a lifetime, and then he says meditation will remove it. So which is correct? I think that's the question. I will open it up for anyone to comment.
So the reason is once you achieve the meditation, you are focusing on the form. Then once you focus the form, if you control the mind, so the mind may go around and here and there, but once you pull the mind to that focus on that one point of form, then eventually it will be on that particular form, that the beauty of the form. So eventually it will disappear, and you will be with the Atma. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
In
Sairam.
Telugu.
Sairam, this is Apu auntie. Mani auntie, you go ahead.
No, please go. Please go ahead, Ma. Go ahead.
Okay. All this time Bhagavan was saying, meditation is a royal path. Don't miss it. Go ahead. Now he says, the impulses will drown you for the lifetime. It's so disappointing.
Sairam, sister, that's the next line is saying that the entire meaning and purpose of meditation is to attain freedom from these mighty and manifold impulses. So,
Yeah.
so if we are not taking up meditation, it will never happen. No? So Baba is, this is Dhyana Vahini, Baba is saying why meditation is important. And here he is giving another strong point. Impulses cannot be removed easily. So only way to remove is meditation. That's what Bhagavan is saying here.
Yeah. In Telugu, Swami is saying, it is easier to get out that habit of drinking and the other bad habits, but ఇట్టి బలవత్తరమైన వాసనను వదలుటే ధ్యానం యొక్క గమ్యం. The main goal of dhyana is to get rid of this. That's what he is saying. Entire the purpose of meditation to attain that goal. వాసనలు వదలుటే ధ్యానం యొక్క గమ్యము. So he is giving the alternate way of getting out of this vasanas.
Yeah, and also in the second sentence, in the first line, he is saying, but with willpower and zest. supported by faith, they can be overcome in a short time.
Yeah.
So the willpower will give us enough, willpower and faith will give us enough enthusiasm to undertake meditation.
Mm.
So if there is no willpower, Dasan explained, no, if the mind is dragging all sides, so there's no willpower. So willpower must be there. There must be a deep desire. I should win over this dragging. No, so that willpower and faith, we can win. We can overcome it in a short time. So finally, Bhagawan is ending up meditation. Take up meditation, and you will be successful. That's what the meaning it is. Thank you, Zaira.
Brother, in that case, what is the Swami meant by then manifold impulses there? I really didn't understand the meaning of that. Thank you.
Freedom from these mighty, powerful, and manifold, various impulses. So we
Swami has used one word in Telugu called Balavattara Vasana.
Balavattara.
Powerful, mighty.
Powerful, very powerful.
So actually, to explain that, in English, two words have been used: mighty and manifold. But Swami is using the word only Balavattara. I mean, they're so strong. Okay, but in English, I think
Okay, thank you.
The translator thought he will use two words. It sounds nice, I guess. But Swami has used one word. Balavattara means they are so hardy,
powerful,
and so powerful. It's okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the thing is, I think why Swami is saying this is because many times we think, we don't need these, sadhanas, just do some seva and lead a good life. We are okay, What Swami is saying is, the vasanas will be, with you always. And that is why meditation is very, very important. Even in 9-point code of conduct, Swami, the first point of conduct is daily japa, dhyana, and prayer. So Swami has already said that. So he does not want us to take it lightly. Among all the sadhana paths, Swami has written an entire Vahini on dhyana. So we should understand that there's a great amount of importance given by Swami on the meditation and the goal of that meditation. So I think that's why Swami is making it clear.
Thank you very much, because I was wondering how could if somebody is meditating daily, very faithfully doing it, how can the whole life get wasted? That's what's my worry. Thank you.
So what Swami means here is these impulses, as we experience ourselves, all of us experience these impulses. They are very strong. They are for lifetime. It can hold up, it can grip you the whole time unless you change the direction. And when we start meditation, you can get the freedom. And the meditation should be in such a sincere and a very honest way. When we do that meditation, perhaps Swami will definitely help us to get out of this manifold impulses.
Thank you very much to all. Thanks.
Yeah, so which is what happened when the milk ocean was, churned.
Yeah.
Vishnu came to help, Shiva came to help, everyone came to help. That is how the job, and that's how the job was completed.
Oh, brother, so according to Auntie's suggestion too, the main purpose of the meditation is control the mind.
Yeah.
And then once you control the mind, there's no vasanas or there's no impulses after that.
Sarah, if we have that full faith and determination on the name and the form of the God, it's nothing impossible. It will get rid of everything and we can go through that meditation, I guess. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you.
Thank you. We in the foregoing passages, we noted that to counteract bad impulses, only the way is to take up more and more good impulses activities. Bhagawan gave the example is visiting a saint, going on pilgrimage, and so on, study and everything. And meditation, sadhana item, and meditation is one of the powerful subhavasana actually. Subhavasana, and this subhavasana will remove all the bad vasanas. And not only that, this meditation finally, it should take us to the total annihilation of impulses. Because the meditation is one-to-one with the Lord. So when the Lord is through love, Lord is connected, then whatever, even the suvasanas will go away and only the love of the God will remain. The brother also used to say that love of God is the final point. So that is what the principle is, that the meditation is one of the most powerful Suvavasana activity. And also the meditation will give us the means and the end. The better word is meditation is the means and the end also. Something like that. Thank you, sir.
So if there are no other thoughts to be shared, we can move on to the next slide, Sister Kalyan.
Can I just clarify one thing on this paragraph? Where it says in such a factory, the impulses, vasanas, are sublimated into desires. Swami's not saying that we should do that. He's just saying that's what happens, that vasanas become desires.
Yeah, so I think that's what Swami means, so I think we talked about vasanas being seeds. Okay, so they're impulses. Then they sort of manifest as desires. I think this we discussed sometime back also, how do we remove the weed means sometimes the seed is inside, when it comes out only you can uproot it. Okay, so the thing is the vasanas come out as desires. And then Swami says,
క్రమక్రమేణ అమితమైన వెలుగుల బ్రహ్మ జ్ఞానము వెన్న వంటి వస్తు తయారగును.
So they become, auntie, she's saying vasanalu korikaluga mari. They become desires. Yes.
As you said, the seed is in the form of seed, vasana.
Yeah.
It grows up into a small
desire.
There Swami is saying, కోరికలుగా మారి మలిన వాసనలు నశింపచేయబడి, by destroying the bad vasanas, మంచి వాసనలు తయారై. Good vasanas will come out, and then ఊహలు బయలుదేరును. You said no, for ఊహలు the translation will be,
I think a better translation would be visualization,
Visualization, yeah, that's what.
Yeah, otherwise imagination is, it's, you imagine something positive. So what Swami says is the bad desires will, the vasanas will come out as desires, and then among those desires you need to uproot the bad ones.
Bad ones.
And then the good ones remain. And then the good ones will become, they visualize uha. Because uha, I think Swami, in the path of meditation, Swami uses the word uha, okay? So he will say, first you see something outside the form, then it becomes what's called uha chitram.
It attains a form.
Yeah, so uha chitram then becomes bhava chitram. Then the bhava chitram becomes sakshatkara.
Life.
So what Swami says is the meditation, what happens is you see a form outside, then you imagine the form inside. You visualize the form inside.
Yes.
Then that form takes bhava, it takes on qualities. And then that's how God actually forms within you. So initially is what's called uha chitra. That means you just imagine a form inside you and you meditate on it. Then then you attribute qualities and qualities. Then it becomes almost alive inside you, bhava. Then it manifests outside as sakshatkara.
It
So-
concretizes outside. Sorry, inside.
Yes, Auntie.
It becomes a
Inside.
concrete picture.
And what is chitram?
Chitra
Picture.
means an image or painting or a sculpture or whatever you want. Chitra means some drawing.
Form.
So
Picture.
basically you
Picture
draw
also.
the form inside you. So initially you look at the head and see, oh, Swami's head is like this, face is like this, body is like this. So you have what's called Uha Chitram. That means you have visualized it. That's why I use the word visualization. So you visualize a picture. Chitram is picture. So you visualize a picture of God inside you. Then it becomes Bhava Chitra, means then it comes alive with certain bhavas, with certain qualities inside you. And then you nourish that and nurture that, and then it concretizes in front of you where you can interact with it on a regular basis. So which is called sakshatkara. Means with your eyes you can see and feel and talk and interact.
Is it
So this-
outside?
Yes, Auntie. This is why, Ramakrishna was asked by Swami Vivekananda,
Yeah.
can you see Kali? He said, of course, I can see her just like I see you. So that is the final thing. But Swami, that's where, because the word Uha was used, Kalyani was asking, so I thought I will just mention it. It's a bit of a digression. But Swami has talked about this in other discourses as well. So I thought I will just mention.
I think you have given the correct picture about dhyana. First, it's Uha Chitra, then it becomes Bhava Chitra, then it becomes Sakshatkara. All the three
Thank
stages.
you very much. It's very clear now.
Yeah.
So first of all, to get to the Uha stage itself is difficult. Just imagine, visualize the Lord itself is difficult. And Swami says, we have to get rid of the bad vasanas before we can even get to that point. That's what I understand from this. Is Kalyani okay?
Yes.
Auntie Manohari, you are muted, Auntie. You should speak, unmute and speak.
I think you have explained it very clearly, Arun.
Okay. Sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Arno. Very clear.
Thanks, Swami. I'm just parroting what I heard. So.
Yeah, 12th chapter.
Chapter 12. Do not be a slave to impulses. Those guided by impulses and instincts wander about the world like drunkards, devoid of discrimination between right and wrong, true and false. The overpowering influence of these animal impulses makes them forget the dire consequences of yielding to them. They have no shame or fear. Instead, they simply revel in the search for worldly pleasures, in the accumulation of comfort, and in the sheer enjoyment of luxuries. For those plunged in these impulses, the intellect is a useless, functionless possession. By constant pursuit of sensory pleasures, the impulses become hardened and they strike deeper and stronger roots. That is why the advice has been given in the Gita to give up the fruit of one's actions. The impulses become stronger because the fruits are always kept in mind whenever actions are performed. This makes people proud and conceited. They try to thrust their pride in the faces of others. The impulses enslave them, and under their influence, they stoop even to the lowest type of wrongdoing in order to get rich and earn the money needed to satisfy them. They start worshipping Mammon as their god. Of course, riches are essential, but surplus riches, riches that give worry, anxiety, and pain, are not desirable at all. One should not seek to acquire riches to that extent. Besides, people strive to earn the praise of others and avoid being blamed by others. This too is to be classed as an impure impulse.
Sairam, everyone. So I think Swami is giving, Swami does not let go of this topic. I think it's so important because all sadhana is actually to get rid of the impulses. Swami is also clearly, giving us an explanation how these impulses manifest in our lives, how we become proud, conceited, we go after money and luxuries and enjoyments and pleasures. Why? And Swami also is telling even praise and blame also, being affected by that also is vasana.
It's
That
vasana.
also is impure. So that's what Swami is saying. So I will just open it up for discussion. Please share your thoughts, Saira.
Sairam, can it be for positions too?
Yeah.
Saira.
Power and position, that are the main things, everybody would like to have. Sairam.
Anyone else would like to share your thoughts, please?
Sairam, if I can add one more P, position, power, and possession, please.
Yeah, that's also is welcome.
That's a money, worshipping mammon.
Properties, money, everything.
Yeah.
Sairam.
Brother, I just want some insight on this, right? Please. Power, a person won't think as a power, whoever is in the position. The other person see as a power. Okay. So do the person, whoever is in that position, supposed to worry about that? That doesn't come. So it's all how you look at things also make the difference, right? So that is, I always think that's a basic Swami's code of conduct is there, how, speaking ill of others, the blaming also is not nice. At the same time, people looking for praise from others, as Swami said, whatever you do for Swami, do as a selfless service and offer to him. So the person can do you want to care about others' blame in that case? So that also, it's up to a person, not other people to judge. That's all I can say from here. It's only the person will know what the person is doing. So I think in this case, the last sentence, I would say there shouldn't be any judgmental call on that. Instead of you do your part of your duty and do your service. Thank you, Saira.
Sairam, sister. Thank you. Anyone would like to share your thoughts, please?
Sairam, Arno.
Yes, Auntie.
The first paragraph, the last two sentences, for those plunged in these impulses, the intellect is a useless, functionless possession. What do you mean by that sort of intellect? The first paragraph, the last two sentences.
Yeah. Those who are plunged in these impulses, that means they are so influenced by the impulses, the intellect doesn't work. The intellect doesn't work. Whether this discrimination is lost for such people.
Okay.
That's intellect is useless means the discriminatory power which is given by the intellect we all have that, but it becomes useless thing, useless possession if you don't know that you are being influenced by impulses and you have to get rid of them. That kind of wisdom goes away. Saira. I hope I made it clear.
Yes, Auntie. Yes, Auntie. Yes.
It's clear.
Saira.
Right.
I think, Sister Aruna, your question is, see, meditation itself is an individual thing. No one outside us can evaluate where we are. So I think the only two people who can evaluate is ourselves and God. So each individual and God. So I think, what vasanas we are suffering from is for each one of us to decide or find out. But Swami is giving this guidance here.
So, Saram, brother, I like the paragraph number 2, the impulses become stronger because the fruits are always kept in mind whenever actions are performed. So that is the causing the problems for the impulses and the vasanas. If you surrender everything, that's what we talked about many times. Once we surrender everything, we don't have nothing. Good or bad, everything goes to the God. So you can, so your mind is free. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Anyone else would like to share your thoughts, please?
Aruna's question is not answered, I think.
No, I think her question, I think she had a question about power. She said, so it's others who perceive power. Yes, others may perceive power or no power, but that's why I said it's for each individual to decide what they are after.
Even the individual who possesses the power, also how to use it, how to misuse it or how to use it usefully. Isn't it?
Yes, Auntie, but I think Swami has given how we can identify when there's something is a problem. Because Swami has said anything which gives worry, anxiety or pain. Okay. Then they are not desirable.
They are not desirable.
If we are worried about anything, we are afraid of something, we are anxious about something, or we are pained by something, then that means there's a vasana giving us problem. If these three are not there, don't worry about what you have, what you don't have.
Okay, that's a good definition. Good, I think it's a good way of defining. Like if you don't have anxiety or pain, that's mean you are not worried about praying for somebody, right? And worrying also, somebody blamed, why are you worrying? You are doing the right thing, why you do want to worry? So it's all how you take it. So that's the good thing. Swami is clarifying that worry, anxiety, pain, if those three are not there, then you are not looking for praise or blame.
So, see, exactly, because what is worry means thinking about things unnecessarily. Okay, thinking about things unnecessarily, because sometimes we think, oh, for good reason only we are thinking, for good reason only we are worrying. The mind is so tricky that it will, fool us, and we think, we are doing something good. So the thing is, if anyone thinks that they are doing good, they should not be thinking or worrying about anything. So I think that's all Swami is saying. So what do we do without thinking means we think of the Lord. Because once we are good at meditation, there's nothing to be concerned. So I hope, sister, your question is answered.
Yes, brother. Thank you.
Swami has already answered. It is just that sometimes we don't see it.
Yeah.
Sarah, when we are doing the Swami's work, we are offering the work to Swami. Then you don't worry.
Brother, can you speak a little louder? Your sound is not very.
Sarah, when we are doing the Swami's work, no, we are doing the Swami's work for Swami, and we don't worry about anything, and offer the work to Swami and free from that, whatever that's talking, the world talking, good or bad, never mind. I don't worry about anything. I am doing the right path. I have nothing to do with that. So I can satisfy everybody. That's my decision. Thank you, sir.
Sai Ram, brother. Thank you.
Sai Ram.
Yes, Auntie. Unmute and speak, Auntie. You have muted yourself again.
So, okay.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
So that means we leave everything to God. Isn't it easy? Leave all the worries, anxieties, everything to God, and God will take care. So that's the easiest thing we can do.
Yes, Auntie. Thank you.
Karam, brother, I can put an example. Even if you are a president for Sai Center, if someone may praise you, and the same person will put you down too. So the praise and fame and everything is not permanent. So always you are thinking, I'm doing God's job. If you are thinking that you are doing good, and if you're going to surrender everything to him, you don't need to worry about anything. That is my opinion. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, brother. Thank you. Thank you. So I think we have discussed it long. I think we can move on to the next slide, Sister Kalyani.
Seeking praise and blaming others are impulses. The world is a nest of crows. Some caw in praise, some caw in derision. But you should be above the reach of praise and blame. Make light of praise. Treat it as something spat out by others. Then only can you be free and enjoy real happiness. About blame. See how the world has not allowed even Brahma, Krishna, Vishnu, Shiva, and Sai Baba to escape from its tendency to blame. People talk ill even of the gods, imputing to those perfect beings evil motives and actions. From foul-minded people such as these, can any consideration be expected toward mere man? Any excuse is enough for them. The white hates the black hates the white. The Shaivite scandalizes the Vaishnavite, and the Vaishnavite spreads stories about the Shaivite. Everyone loves their own religion, their own native place, and themselves. One loves one's own methods of worship and forms and ceremonies. This love takes the form of praise of one's own creed and blame of the other's faith. Though all this is related to one's relationship with God, such impulses are and must be classed under impure Malina impulses.
So it's a very
interesting.
I think very good topic to discuss.
Right.
So I will just open it up. I think there's nothing for me to add. I will just open it up for discussion. What do we do, you know? So on one side, you know, Swami says we have to be firm, we have to have faith, we have to have belief. And on the other, he says, you know, that also can become an impure impulse.
Impure.
So I think it's a good topic, a point to discuss and come to some common understanding. So I will open it up for discussion. Anyone can share your thoughts, please.
Brother Sai Ram, In this case, I find it the first paragraph, last sentence is the most important part. That is the perfect being, evil motives and action. So what is the motives is very important, right? If the motive is clear, then we know we are doing the right thing. So you shouldn't look for the blame or praise, but your motive is very, very important. That's what Swami is trying to say on this first paragraph. That's not my understanding. Thanks.
No, what Swami is trying to say is, even Rama, Krishna, Vishnu, Shiva, they were all perfect beings. But people talk ill of them, with some evil motives and actions. They are, as it is, Rama, Krishna, Vishnu, they are all perfect beings. And Swami, people talk ill. Why? Because they have got evil motives and actions. And imputing them to those perfect beings. Aruna, is it clear?
Yes, son. But yes, that's an evil motive. They blame them, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying the motive is very, very important.
Yes, of course.
The motive is good. They are not going to talk about ill of others.
Yeah, they have bad motives.
To understand what is the motive behind it. So any change or any kind of action, you have to identify what is the motive behind of it.
Yeah, any kind of action.
Yes.
When we do, look at the motive. Is it a good motive with which that person is acting, or with an evil motive?
Yes. That is the part we have to identify. Yeah, then it's correct. Easy for us to see whether we are in the right path or not.
Yeah.
Thank you, Saira.
So, Sairam, so you can think one way or the way too. Even if you do good seva and everything, always people are there to criticize some people. Even that is not exception, even God avatars, even Brahma came, people say something. Even Swami was there, you can see so many things on the internet. But he doesn't bother about those kind of things. Same way, people can talk about you when you are doing sadhana, but you carry on, whatever, if you think you are correct. Thank you.
Thank you very much, brother. Does anyone else have something to share, please?
Manohari auntie want to share, but she's muted.
Sairam auntie, unmute yourself, please.
You're muted still, auntie. Again, you might have to press it. There, that's good. Oh, I think you're pressing it twice. Can you press it once? Okay, that's good. That's good.
Sairam, actually, Swami says his life is the message to us. So, as brother who spoke previously, Swami showed that nothing, because there was so many criticism about Swami, but he never bothered about it. And he didn't even take it seriously. He just let his life. And so that was a message to us.
Yeah.
Anything anybody speaks, we will not get affected. So the Swami's life was the message to all of us.
Yes, correct.
Thank you, auntie. Any other thoughts by anyone, please?
Just had a quick, I guess, practical question of how Swami's saying, make light of praise, treat it as something spat out by others. And I find that sometimes, anytime any sort of praise comes your way, like it's so automatic, it kind of automatically makes you feel good. But is there any way to stop it from going to your head or going to the ego?
So I think what I don't know whether others have something to say. From what I can understand, what Swami is saying is, if somebody is saying something, just think that they have just spat out. That means they're vomit. Okay. Whether it's a good vomit or bad vomit, you don't take it and apply it on yourself. Okay. So if they say something good, let them say it. If they say something bad, let them say it bad, say something. The thing is, the whole problem is, if we are selective, we like when people praise, then we are definitely going to be sad when others blame. So Swami wants both to be treated as, somebody saying something, it doesn't really matter, it's not relevant to you. I think that is something which Swami wants us to cultivate. Both we should not be taking. I think that's the key. That's the practical thing. So generally, if we learn how to ignore praise, then it's very easy to ignore blame.
How to go above praise and blame. And that's what Swami is trying to. Usually what happens when somebody praises us, we get bloated. We feel, oh, we are something above and we are in our skies. But if somebody derides you or puts you down or blames you, we take it in very seriously and we really feel very bad about it. Both are bad. What Swami is saying, you should be above the reach of praise and blame. If somebody praises you, it's okay. Take it easy. Make it light. Light of praise. That's what Swami is trying to say.
But both of them, I think you cannot ignore. Both of them, you have to listen carefully.
Yeah, listen to
make it.
Why, sister? Why? Why do you have to listen?
No, there would be a positive message. You can take it from the, even from the blame, you can take it. A positive message is okay, the praise. But praise also, you have to understand why they are praising. Yeah, I think always you have to listen both sides. That will give you the clarity in order to think on focus. That's the way I would look at it. Without ignoring, you have to listen though. That's my point of view on this. Praise or blame will give you a teaching. Thank you,
Sairam, sister.
Thank you, Sairam. Here is one thing is that it's a good point. Aruna made it, but for Rama, Krishna, Vishnu, Shiva, Sai Baba, when others blame, what benefit they are going to, what lesson they are going to learn, what Sai Baba is going to learn. So he has nothing to learn from any criticism, destructive criticism. And also praise, the people, Baba said, there is an ko in praise. So some ko in praise and some ko in there is. So for the sake of saying, the people will praise. Oh, you did a wonderful job. Without you, I don't think any other can do like so amazing, so astonishing. So do they really mean? If they really mean, they personally tell you, oh, that is very good. Okay, it looks like this, and it looks like you the hard work and I remember one time I messaged Kalyani on certain things and said I said a good comments to her. Personally, because I see the difference between her and other things, so I said okay. So she took it. She was able to judge whether she was right or not, but she is right or not. So that if you want to really comment, or if you want to really comment on either way, we can personally do that. But in the public, when somebody prays, it may not be true from their heart, but we take it as, oh, whatever
Things.
I did it. And so those are the things there. And also spitting out, no? Spitting out. In Tamil, tupral. துப்பின முகத்துல எப்படி இருக்கும் அப்படி whenever any people praise you, you take it as they spitting on your face. So to make the people to put the people in the spiritual path, we have to avoid praising, avoid praising, because that person will know that how talented he was when he was doing. That person will judge it. So the person can judge whether I did a good job or a bad job. So when others say that, we don't know whether they are saying really or not. That's a risk is there. But always there are three desires. Yesterday we studied, no, the desire for woman, and desire for gold, and desire for kirti, puhalas. So this, and one of the saints which whom I met, he was saying, wow, very glory in his face, and he was not talking when I met him. And he uttered a few words so far in his life. He passed away, but only about 20 quotations the devotees, the disciples took it out and put it in print. And in that he says, the puhalase, the puhalase,
The desire for fame.
Desire for fame is the most difficult one to get rid of. He said, even the woman and the gold, or man or woman and gold can be removed, but this is very, very difficult to remove. The fame, praise, and other things. So it is, if Baba had set an example in many places about this one also. So that's the thing. But Sister Aruna said also in one way is correct, but there are both sides, good and bad on that one.
Brother,
Yeah.
The thing is, praise or blame, you shouldn't be affected, right? But you have to listen carefully to understand where these things are coming. It's based on your position or anything. You have to understand clearly in order for you to fix it.
Blame. You're correct.
You
are correct. To blame is okay. That's what Brother Arunadhan said. No, that one day in one of the satsang interviews, he said, "Don't praise me, but I am asking, if you find any drawbacks, please let me know." Any Swami Vivekananda said, soon after he came from America, when he was addressing the devotees in the, he came to Tamil Nadu first, but when he went to his West Bengal, the first meeting, he said, whatever I did good, take it as our Gurudev Ramakrishna did it. If any blunder was made in the West, take it as it is only me. It is me who did the blunder. So they don't want to listen everything. They want to pass on all the good things. They want to pass on to the Lord, not listening actually. But the bad thing, they want to know that. Oh, that's correct. The blame, we must we can understand why they are blaming. But for people like Sai Baba, the blaming also doesn't make any sense. So it all depends on the spiritual maturity, no? So if the spiritually matured person, he need not listen to the praise and the blame. Thank you. I think.
Thank you,
So,
brother.
brother, at the end, are we have to listen to the blame and praise, or we are not just ignore totally?
Ignoring totally.
Manorianti's thing, we have to follow how Swami his life is a message, right? So in that case, Swami didn't bother about anything.
Yeah.
But as we are not reached to that Swami's level, so in order to do our alerted duty, I personally think it's better to listen without any getting affected with that, and leave it to Swami. In one way, Swami says, leave everything to his feet. So that's what I think is better for us to do as right now we are.
Yeah, the blame part is correct. You are correct for the blame part.
Sairam. No, but it's very interesting. But Sister Aruna has said, Swami has demonstrated, Aruna told that story the other day, right? When a school inspector came and the teacher was teaching something. I don't know, I have to repeat it. I forgot the whole this thing. But the point is, he was telling that what is, I mean, why the teacher was trying to say the power of words, and the school inspector was saying something
Yeah, correct. That story.
opposite to that. Or there's something, and so what school inspector did was he looked at the inspector and said, "You fool, get out." And that's the end of it. Then he was thoroughly upset, and how can you say that to me or whatever. So then the teacher said, so now you see, I just wanted to prove you the power of words.
Yeah.
So no, it's easy to say that we have to listen, but we should not be affected.
Yeah.
If you can do that, is it possible for unless for a fully realized jnani who has no body attachment at all, is it possible to
get unaffected?
Yeah. So we have to practically look. Now, at our stage, what we should do, that's a question. Well, at for Ramana Maharshi, that happened, right? Someone spit on his face.
Yeah.
And he just kept quiet. He no change at all. The other day, Shivadas, you were telling, I am just in connection, maybe a little bit digression, but one who recently I listened that interview, the one who was, he is still living, he was always with Ramana Maharshi, and he said that he was operated without anesthesia was a wrong information. That spread all over the world, but that was wrong. Even when we were studying at grade 6, one of our master told same story, but he said he spoke to the surgeon who did the surgery after Maharishi's Mahasamadhi. So he asked the surgeon, what is your experience of doing surgery on? You would have done so many surgeries, so what is your experience of doing surgery on Ramana Maharshi? He said, then only the doctor told him that this information spread all over the world, but that's not true. He gave local anesthesia.
Local anesthesia, yeah.
But he did operation, but still he said that is a unique experience for him because it's only local anesthesia. So he was doing the operation, but he didn't notice an iota of change in his face or his body. He was perfectly safe as before the surgery, during the surgery, and after the surgery. That was a unique experience for him, he said, though it's with the local anesthesia. So unless is a jnani like that, we can say that we have to listen, all blame and praise, but we should not be affected. Can we do that? But so practically what we can do, everyone has to decide for them. But it's obvious that we have to go, as Mani Aunty said, we have to try to go beyond that. Sai.
So,
The
Sai Ram, brother.
time is up actually, the past 5 minutes.
Yeah, okay, Brother Tasan, I think, and somebody else also was
Okay.
trying to say something.
So, Sai Ram, brother, my point is to praise that we know we are the instrument. Baba says, you don't know nothing, you are nothing. You are the instrument. So if someone praise you, say just thank you, but it goes to Swami too. If
Yeah.
someone says bad about you, that also goes to Swami. Why you worry? That's all. Sai Ram.
Yeah.
Sai Ram, thank you.
Sai
very
Ram,
much.
brother, you can.
Somebody else also, I think this is Sister Shivani or someone who's trying to say something.
Mani Bhashyam auntie.
Okay, no, what I wanted to say was, look at the intention behind the praise or blame. Then you decide whether
Yeah.
it is you are learning a lesson from the blame or you are truly blessed by the praise. Intention is very important before they praise you or blame you. That's what I wanted to say. Sorry.
Thank you, Auntie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I think it was a very good discussion, and I think we can continue this discussion a little more, I guess, next time. Because there's so much more in this the paragraphs which we should discuss. I think the second paragraph we have not even touched,
Yeah.
so we will discuss. But I thought I would just have a few words on Sister Aruna's thing. She was telling we should listen. I think it's okay to listen, as Brother Sivadar said. It's better to listen to the blame, because there may be something good coming out of it. But ultimately, I think what Swami would tell us is, if your conscience is clear, listen to your conscience more than anyone else. And listen to the Lord and realize for yourself whether the Lord will be pleased. I think once we focus only on these two, what others say doesn't really matter, because whoever is looking at us from outside really don't have a good picture of us. Even the person who praises or the person who blames, both really don't know who we are. Who we really are, only we know. We can know through our conscience, and we will know from listening to the Lord. So I think if we can do that, then we can just turn a deaf ear to either praise or blame or any comments. But until such time as such that, I guess maybe we can listen. But I think we should listen to the blame more than the praise, because praise doesn't do any good. Okay, so those are my words. But I think we'll continue this discussion next week, and we will close the study circle with Samasta Loka. Sai Ram. Oh. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.